Project Fi is now Google Fi, and it will work with iPhones and most Android devices. 3 years after it first launched, Google is making its cell service a little more official today. Project Fi is graduating into something a little more ambitious and getting a new name in the process, Google Fi. But the bigger news is that it's also going to support more phones. A lot of phones, including the iPhone and the majority of Android devices. This isn't the first time that Fi has worked with Apple devices. You could get a data-only SIM for iPads as secondary devices before. And technically, a Fi SIM has always worked in an iPhone, provided you adjusted the data settings on the phone. But now Google is supporting iPhones directly for new customers, though it says that the support is in beta and requires a few extra steps to get set up. There will be a new Google Fi iOS app to help ease the process along. More specifically, you find that visual voicemail won't work anymore, but iMessage will. iOS won't pull the right MMS and data connections automatically, but it does work with just a few copy and pastes into settings. For Android phones, setup should be a lot more straightforward, though by going with Fi instead of a more traditional carrier, you should be aware that all customer support happens online or over the phone. In my experience, that hasn't been a big issue, but sometimes it is nice to have a store to walk into to get in-person help. Google Fi is an MVNO, which stands for Mobile Virtual Network Operator. That means that your actual service comes from larger carriers. Fi uses T-Mobile, Sprint, and US Cellular as its backbone. However, only a few phones, like the Pixels and others that Google sells, are able to dynamically switch between those carriers' networks. And that doesn't change today. Like before, phones that aren't explicitly designed for Fi are stuck on T-Mobile's network. Here's how Google Fi will work with iPhones, for example. But the real difference with Fi is the pricing model. It's much simpler than what most other networks offer. It's $20 for a phone line and $10 per gig of data you use, capped at $60 under a newer program it calls Bill Protection. The reason I like it is that you can get a data-only SIM, which costs no additional money per month beyond the data you use it on it. I think it's one of the best deals in wireless. But depending on your data habits, the same might not be true for you.